Hello everyone, welcome back to the Power BI tutorials. In this video, we will be seeing that how can we work with tables in Power BI. Now we all know that Power BI is a software from where we can do a variety of things, and mainly it is used to analyze the data. But since the fundamental of this data is a table, so Power BI gives us the opportunity to actually work with tables in Power BI itself. There are two ways through which we can actually use the tables or create the tables in Power BI. One is from the scratch, and one is if already you have some kind of a table or a data set loaded into Power BI, then you can create a table out of the fields available to you. So the first step is creating a table from scratch. So we are going to see that. So for that, what do you need to do is first of all make sure that you have opened your Power BI. Then in this data group, you will find something called as enter data. So if you just hover over it, there is this small tooltip given to you that you can create a new table by typing or pasting in new content. So this is one way through which you can actually create a table for yourself in Power BI. If you just click over it, then what happens? You will get this kind of an option. So this is column 1, which is representing nothing but a table for you. So if you just can give it some kind of a heading like region, and if you see, this is the star option. If you just click over it, so you would be able to add one more column. So as many times as you click on star, those much columns would be added. So let's just right click and delete it. You can just delete any column by right clicking over it, and let's just double click over here and just change its name to sales. Okay, so I'm going to create a very simple table with just two columns, that is the region column and the sales column. Alright, now in the region columns, let us just type in the west region, the central region, the east region, and the south region. Okay, now in the sales, I'm going to give some of the values. These are the random values that I am giving, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, so these are the 4 random values that I have given. Similarly, if you just click over this star for this rows, so a number of rows would be added as well. And if you don't want the rows, you can just right click over it and delete them. Right, now we have created a very simple table. This is one way of creating the table from scratch. The other one is you can just go to some source, say Excel, and if you have created a table in Excel, you can just copy it and you can just paste that table over here, and you would be able to get that table in Power BI itself. Now you can give your table a name. So I'm going to give it as region wise sales, and then you can simply click on load. Now this may take a few seconds to just load this table into Power BI. Now one thing you must note over here that this is actually a table that you have created in Power BI, and it has no relation with any of the external data sources. Alright, now you can just see that we have got two tables in this field section. One is the orders table that we had loaded earlier, and this is the region wise sales table that we have just created. If you just drop it, there are two fields, region and sales, which we have just created. So let us just use a chart, a simple say column chart, to just depict this data. We can just get this region into the axis 1 and the sales into the values. Okay, now you can see we have got these 4 options. Actually, that is not correct. So let's just get this chart again. Region in the axis fields and sales in the values field. Right, so you would be able to get this, but I'm not very sure why it is not getting the correct thing. That is because I think we're getting the count of sales. Yes, so what we can do is just click over it in the sales and just categorize it as the sum. I think it should work Let's get the column chart again. Region is already there, and values for sales. Yes. So we have got the sales, that is for the west region we have got 8,007 sales, for the east region around 7,969, for the central region, and for the south region. Okay, so this is a very simple way of creating a table and just using it directly into our Power BI. Okay, the next method or the next way of creating a table is using this visualizations pane. If you just go over here, just below your field map, you will find something called as a table, and just beside it is a matrix. So matrix we would cover in the later videos, and it is also similar to that of a table. But first of all, let us look at a table. So you can just simply click over it and you would get a table. Now when you just drag it, or when you just open up a table in a page, you can see that here we have got a values field. In the previous options or any other options like in the charts or in the maps, we have got a bunch of fields over here like the legend, the size, the values, etc. But in the table we have only got the values. And what does this values field expect from us? It expects some kind of data or some kind of fields or some kind of columns which can be added into the table. So for this table to work in Power BI, there is a requirement that at least one table must be imported in Power BI beforehand. Then only you can just use this table. So we have two tables actually. So I'm just going to collapse this region wise sales, and I'm just going to expand this orders table. Now this orders table is a part of the data set that I have downloaded from the internet. So if you want for yourself, you can just download any of these sample data sets from the internet, and then you can use it very easily. So we have got actually some kind of thing that is known as state or province. I'm going to drag it in the values field, and we have got all these states over here, and I want to show that how much profit is done in each state. So I will just drag this profit field again into the values pane. And as soon as I do that, you can see that we have got two columns in our tables, the state or province column and the profit column. Now I can drag as many values as I want into this values field, and it would be added into the table. Alright, so suppose I want also the sales of each state or province, then I can just drag in the sales as well. And you can see that if I want, I can just drag these things and their order would be changed. Now it is state, sales and profit. If I want sales to be coming at the end, then I can just drag it and its order would be changed in the table itself like this. Okay, then if you want any other thing, suppose you want how much discount was given, you can just drag and drop this discount as well. Alright, so we have got all these options, and one interesting thing to note over here is in this table we have got these four headings, and along with them we have also got a total. So this is the default layout of a table. If you just go to the focus mode, then you can see it in a clear way that all of them are visible now in a much more good way, in a much more way that is readable, in a readable form. So here you can see that the total and the heading column, that is the topmost row and the lastmost row, is fixed. That is, these headings are fixed and this thing is also fixed. So that is the beauty of Power BI. In Microsoft Excel, if you have read Microsoft Excel, we had to do all these things manually, but in Power BI everything is fixed. Alright, now one more thing, you must have noticed that in state or province we have got different states like Alabama, Arizona, California, etc. And they all are by default arranged in an ascending order. Like you can see all in the ascending order. Okay, so if you just click on this arrow, this is what is used for this purpose. That is, if your data is not arranged in a predefined format, suppose in the profit it's not arranged, so we can just click on this arrow, and you can see that now the table is arranged on the basis of profit, that is the maximum profit values we have got over here. And if you just scroll down, This is the value we have got the most of the loss, that is in North Carolina, and it is present at the bottom. Similarly, if you want to arrange with the help of the sales or with respect to the sales, you can see that it is also arranged into the format, that is the topmost or the state in which the most of the sales were made, it is present at the top, and at the state where the least of the sales were made, it is present at the bottom. Similarly, you can also sort it with the help of the discount. Basically, any number of columns that you have, you can just sort it on the basis of that only. Okay, so yeah, if you want, you can also work with the states by just simply clicking on this arrow. So this is actually very much simpler than the Excel counterparts or any of the competing software counterparts that we have got in Power BI. That is the beauty of Power BI, its simplicity. So that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching.